All right, here we go. Eric Hofberg, Think Strong Hockey, Chapter 8. Let me just say to you once again how much I really enjoy the opportunity, to help hockey players and to do my part to help hockey players focus more on how they think, the best way for them to think so that they can help themselves play as well as they can. And everything starts with the quality of your thought. We all want to really, truly, in any walk of life, we all want to come to understand that there's a way that I think that helps me bring out the best version of me. And that's what Think Strong is about. Always finding the thought that's going to strengthen you, that's going to strengthen your level of play if you're a hockey player, not allowing thoughts that weaken you and deplete you. Think Strong Hockey. And so I get the chance to help so many people think about how to manage their mind and what it means to them to think strong and all the leadership training that I do. And certainly I just want to say as I try to say as much as I can in each chapter, how much I really appreciate the chance. I was a hockey player all growing up, and I coached hockey for 16 years, and a lot of my work is still with hockey players. A lot of my private clients are hockey players, so I love to help hockey players. So let me help you here with Chapter 8 on Think Strong Hockey. And here's what I want to point out to you is that I want you to think a little bit about what does it mean to you when someone says to you to work harder. Recently I have something on Twitter called Think Strong Hockey. It's at Strong Hockey. If you're not following me, you should. And I wrote, good thought flow. What happens in good thought flow is that we think a macro thought like work harder. So a macro thought is a big thought. And then what we need to do next after the macro thought of work harder is be specific about what that means. What am I going to actually go and do? What does work harder look like to me? How many times do you hear it as a hockey player, whether it be from your coach, your coaches, a teammate, or even in your own head? Hey, we need to work harder here. Let's get going. Everybody needs to work harder. Let's work harder out there. Let's pick it up here. Our work ethic needs to be better. Work harder. Keep working hard. So work hard is something that I feel is pretty common. Good hard work. I talked to recently an NHL hockey coach and talked about, just the importance of getting off to a good start in this season, and that he really wants to establish the good hard work ethic, that we need to be hanging our hats on how hard we work every night. That's part of their culture. So what I want to say to you is this, is that for you, in terms of who you are as a player, for you, what will it mean when the message comes, whether it's a message from somebody else, from your coach, or a message in your own head? Got to work harder here. What's that going to be about? Now listen, if you're watching this, you're not in between shifts, you're not at the game, and you're probably not in the locker room. You're in a preparation stage. That's why you're watching this. That's why you're looking at this. And so I want you to take this time when you're away from the game, when you're not in the rink, to really think about what will it mean to you, the type of player that you are. What will it mean to you when you're reminded to work harder and then you actually do that? If you're a forward and you're thinking about working harder, is that going to mean to be better on the back check? Is that what that's going to mean? Come back harder, work really hard coming back, get the feet moving and come back. Is it going to mean to be better on the forecheck, to get in, not to watch and to see what's going on, but to really work to get in? Is working harder for you less around getting your feet moving more and, skating harder? And is it more around small battle areas and fighting for the puck and being more persistent and never giving up? Is it possible that work harder really for you is to work harder mentally, to stay focused, is to work harder mentally to stay confident, is to work harder, at when things don't go well, that you're able to be resilient and bounce back and get your mind right. If you had a bad shift, work harder. Work harder at staying confident and not letting your mind slip. Is that work harder for you? What does work harder look like? Is work harder doing something better with the puck as a defenseman? Work harder, come back and pick up the loose pucks and come back, with a little bit more vigor. Be more aggressive, have more authority in your game. Work harder. Again, is it around battle areas as a defenseman? Is it around, just being more active in the corners and not giving up? Not giving up on plays, working harder to get from the corner to the front of the net as play transitions from one side to the other side of the zone. What does work harder mean for you? Is it to just be more ready on faceoffs? Work harder. Are you a center? Do you need to work harder and be more ferocious and more determined, on your draws? As a goalie, what does it mean? Does it mean, and to work harder is any part of this around, I got to get in better shape so I can work harder. That's what's happening to you mentally. As a goalie, what does it mean to you to work harder? What is it that you're doing when you work harder? Does it have to do with the lateral movement? What I like to talk about is east-west, or is it north-south? When you're down, getting up faster. Is it arriving with authority? You know, as you're moving and tracking the puck and coming to make the save, you know that there's a power there in your motion and you're arriving more ready. You're working harder. You're really feeling more focused and you're working harder in the net. If you're looking at this, if you're a part of Think Strong Hockey, then you're somebody that's looking to make a difference in your game. And I would say to you that there's a small thing that you can do here that can pay off for you big time in terms of your focus and your ability to get yourself going in a positive direction when people are talking about working harder. So yes, work harder. You're responding and you feel that in your energy and in your focus, and you know, like, we got to kick it in here. We've got to be better. And really, that's what work harder is. Work harder is be better. And so what are you going to be better at when it's time to work harder? Write a few things down for yourself. What does it mean to me when I'm working harder? Or when I'm working really hard, what does it look like? What exactly am I doing? The type of player that I am, what am I doing? Am I getting more pucks and carrying more pucks and using my skill? Am I making passes and then instead of appreciating the pass, busting for the next hole so that I can become a part of the play? Am I getting up to the blue line faster as a defenseman so that I'm more ready on the blue line? Getting there, being more ready, arriving ready, and anticipating more of the play. Dialing in, locking in, working harder. Write some things down, what it means to you to work harder, or what it means to you when you're working really hard. This way, when somebody says we have to work harder, you can take that macro thought, that big thought, and you can shrink it down into a play that you're calling for yourself. This is what I'm going to do when it's time to work harder. This is the specific thing that I'm going to do. Get to know your game more. Take more ownership of your game. Understand how you think. The minute that somebody says work harder, that your next thought is you telling you some very specific things that you're going to do that have to do with you playing your best hockey. Let's be ready to work as hard as we can. Every coach wants you to. Be known for that. Be admired for that. Be somebody that people look to and admire for how hard you work or how much you turn it up when a team needs to turn it up and start working harder. Hope this helps. See you around the way at Chapter 9. Thanks.